Professor Muhammad Yunus, the chief advisor of Bangladesh's interim government, undertook a significant and highly anticipated official visit to the United Kingdom from the 10th to the 13th of June 2025. This journey was not merely a courtesy call, but, a mission with profound implications for the future of his nation. The primary objective was to strengthen diplomatic ties and secure crucial support from a key international partner. Coming to power after a student-led movement ousted the previous administration in August 2024, Dr. Yunus's government faced the immense task of stabilizing the country and addressing deep-rooted issues of corruption. His presence in London was a clear signal of his administration's intent to re-engage with the world and seek assistance in its national rebuilding efforts, making this visit a critical test of his international standing. Upon his arrival, Dr. Yunus's schedule was packed with high-level engagements designed to advance his government's agenda. One of the earliest and most important meetings took place on Wednesday, June 11th, at his hotel in London. There, he met with the UK's National Security Advisor, Jonathan Powell. This discussion was a clear indication of the serious nature of the visit, focusing on matters of mutual security and strategic cooperation. Dr. Yunus was accompanied by his own key officials, including Bangladesh's National Security Advisor, Dr. Khalilur Rahman, and other senior members of his team. These initial conversations set the stage for the more detailed negotiations and requests that would follow over the subsequent days of his stay in the British capital. The diplomatic efforts extended beyond the realm of national security and into the sphere of economic partnership. A crucial meeting was scheduled with the UK Secretary of State for Business and Trade, highlighting the economic dimensions of the visit. The discussions were expected to cover a wide range of topics, including future trade agreements, British investment in Bangladesh, and cooperation in key sectors that could help revitalize the Bangladeshi economy. For the interim government, fostering a strong economic relationship with the UK was seen as essential for long-term stability and growth. These meetings were intended to build confidence and demonstrate that Bangladesh was open for business under its new leadership, ready to forge transparent and mutually beneficial partnerships. A particularly noteworthy moment of the visit was the recognition bestowed upon Dr. Yunus by the British monarchy. He was scheduled to receive the prestigious Harmony Award 2025 from King Charles himself. This award, celebrating individuals who work towards creating balance and harmony in society, was a significant personal honor for the Nobel laureate. More importantly, it served as a powerful symbolic endorsement from one of the world's most respected institutions. The royal accolade provided a moment of positive reinforcement amidst a visit that was otherwise fraught with political complexities and controversy. It highlighted Dr. Yunus's long-standing global reputation as a pioneer of social business and a champion of the poor, lending him a degree of moral authority on the world stage. At the very heart of Dr. Yunus's diplomatic mission to London was a singular, urgent plea for assistance in recovering vast sums of money. His government alleges that billions of dollars were illicitly siphoned from Bangladesh and laundered abroad by members and associates of the previous regime, led by Sheikh Hasina. Dr. Yunus forcefully articulated that the United Kingdom has both a legal and moral obligation to help repatriate these stolen funds. He argued that this wealth rightfully belongs to the people of Bangladesh and is desperately needed to fund essential public services and development projects. The success of this specific objective was seen as a critical measure of the overall success of his UK visit and a key test of the UK's commitment to tackling global corruption. The discussions around asset recovery were not merely theoretical, they were grounded in ongoing collaborative efforts. By the time of the visit, authorities in both countries were already engaged in the complex process of tracing and identifying these illicitly held assets. Reports from as early as May 2025 indicated that some progress had been made, with certain assets linked to the former regime reportedly being seized in London. Dr. Yunus's meetings with UK officials, particularly those in security and finance, were aimed at accelerating this process. He sought to secure stronger commitments and more proactive cooperation from British law enforcement and financial intelligence units to navigate the intricate legal hurdles involved in international asset recovery, ensuring a swifter return of the funds. The interim government's strategy was to frame the issue not as a political vendetta, but as a matter of international justice and financial integrity. By presenting detailed evidence and working through established legal channels, they hoped to build a compelling case that the UK could not ignore. The presence of Dr. Yunus's special envoy, Lutfi Siddiqui, and other key coordinators underscored the technical and detailed nature of these discussions. The Bangladeshi delegation was prepared to delve into the specifics of financial transactions, shell corporations, and the legal mechanisms required to freeze and ultimately repatriate the stolen money. This methodical approach was designed to demonstrate their seriousness and professionalism in tackling a problem that has plagued the nation for years. The political context in the UK added another layer of complexity to these requests. The British government, under Prime Minister Keir Starmer, had its own anti-corruption agenda to uphold. Assisting Bangladesh in this high-profile case would align with its stated goals of combating illicit finance. However, it also carried potential political risks, given the deep connections between the former Bangladeshi ruling party and certain political figures in the UK. Dr. Yunus's team had to navigate this delicate landscape carefully, emphasizing the legal basis of their request while appealing to the UK's broader commitment to global standards of financial transparency and accountability. The outcome of these talks would have lasting consequences for both nations' relationship. While Dr. Yunus engaged in high-stakes diplomacy inside London's stately buildings, a scene of vocal opposition unfolded on the streets. Upon his arrival on Tuesday morning, he was greeted by significant protests outside the Dorchester Hotel in Mayfair, where he was staying. The demonstrators were predominantly British Bangladeshis affiliated with the UK branch of the Awami League, the party of the ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. They brandished placards and chanted slogans, vehemently opposing his leadership. This visible and organized dissent served as a stark reminder that the political turmoil that had engulfed Bangladesh had followed him directly to the heart of the United Kingdom, turning his visit into a focal point for a deeply divided diaspora. The accusations leveled by the protesters were severe and aimed at undermining the legitimacy of his interim government. They accused Dr. Yunus's administration of being an architect of mob rule and held it responsible for alleged human rights violations and killings that occurred during the transition of power. The protesters called for his immediate resignation, framing his government as unconstitutional and illegitimate. These demonstrations were not spontaneous gatherings, but a coordinated effort to challenge the narrative presented by Dr. Yunus and his delegation. They sought to capture the attention of the British media and public, painting a picture of a nation still in the grip of violent political conflict under his stewardship. The opposition was not limited to street protests. It also took a more formal, legalistic shape. A group of UK-based lawyers, including the prominent King's Counsel Stephen Powles, announced that they were preparing to take action. Their stated intention was to compile a communication to refer the Yunus government to the International Criminal Court in The Hague. The basis for this referral would be alleged crimes against humanity committed during and after the ousting of the previous government. This legal threat, whether it had substantive merit or not, added a serious and intimidating dimension to the political pressure, aiming to cast a shadow of illegitimacy over Dr. Yunus on the international stage. This combination of public protest and legal maneuvering created a highly charged atmosphere for the visit. For every diplomatic handshake and official photograph, there was a countervailing image of angry demonstrators and headlines about potential war crimes charges. This duality defined the visit, highlighting the deep and bitter schisms within the Bangladeshi political landscape. Dr. Yunus and his team were forced to conduct their diplomatic mission against a backdrop of constant and vocal criticism. The events in London made it clear that the political battle for Bangladesh's future was being fought not only in Dhaka, but also in the capitals of its most important international partners, with the global diaspora as both participants and audience. The political complexities of the visit were most starkly illustrated by the meetings that did not happen. A request for a meeting between Dr. Yunus and the UK Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, was formally declined by the British government. Officials in London confirmed that no such meeting was ever on the official schedule, a move widely interpreted as a diplomatic snub. This refusal was reportedly linked to the sensitive political situation in the UK itself. The Labour Party was wary of the potential reputational damage associated with the ongoing corruption investigations in Bangladesh, especially after one of its own MPs, Tulip Siddiq, who is also the niece of the former Bangladeshi Prime Minister, had faced scrutiny over related allegations earlier in the year. In a reciprocal move that underscored the tense political climate, Dr. Yunus himself declined a meeting request from Tulip Siddiq. This decision was a clear attempt to maintain a position of neutrality and reinforce the message that the corruption investigations were a matter for the judiciary, not personal or political negotiation. By refusing the meeting, Dr. Yunus aimed to draw a firm line between his government's legal pursuit of stolen assets and the intricate web of political relationships that connected the former Bangladeshi regime to figures within the British establishment. This careful maneuvering highlighted the delicate tightrope he had to walk, seeking UK government support while keeping a safe distance from its internal political controversies. As the visit drew to a close on June 13, 2025, the outcomes were a mixed bag of success and complication. On one hand, Dr. Yunus had successfully engaged with key UK security and business officials, advanced the critical agenda of asset recovery, and received a prestigious award from King Charles, which bolstered his international credibility. On the other hand, he faced organised protests, the looming threat of an ICC referral, and a pointed refusal to meet from the head of the British government. The visit exposed the raw divisions of Bangladeshi politics on a global stage, and demonstrated the significant obstacles that his interim government still faced in its quest for international legitimacy and support. Dr. Yunus's journey back to Bangladesh marked the end of a whirlwind tour that was as challenging as it was crucial. He returned home with some tangible progress on the asset recovery front and a reinforced sense of the complexities of international diplomacy. The visit had laid bare the political battle lines, both at home and abroad, that his administration would need to navigate in the months ahead. The path to a stable and prosperous Bangladesh remained uncertain, but the chief advisor's mission to London had been a decisive, if difficult, step in the long journey of rebuilding his nation and reclaiming its future from the shadows of its past political turmoil.